Hello everyone, and welcome to another classic guitar video. Tonight's guitar is a semi-special, semi-rare Gibson Les Paul Melody Maker in TV yellow, or television yellow, TV yellow more appropriately it's called. It's just your basic Les Paul, no pick guard, thinner body. It's carved top, but sharper edges. It's 2014, it's the only year they made these. It is the 120th anniversary edition model. So this guitar shouldn't take me too long. It's in flat paint, TV yellow. It has two P90 pickups, a non-intonatable bridge. So it's probably going to get new strings, maybe, we'll see. And clean up and general setup, and here we go. I bought it pretty cheap, so I'm going to make a fairly good profit on this, about $200, maybe $250. So let's just get started, and here it is. It's a beautiful piece. And here it is. It is the Gibson Les Paul Melody Maker 120th anniversary guitar. It's in TV yellow, and there you have it. It's pretty awesome. I like it. I'm going to go ahead and tweet this out. I already tweeted it out on my Classic Guitar or Classic Computers Twitter, and now I'm going to do it on my Classic Guitar Twitter, which I should be doing. That's the one I should be doing it on. So yes, so classic guitar, oops. Oh, okay, there it is. Okay, so we'll go ahead and tweet this puppy out. We're tweeting it with its twittering tweeter, so to speak, if you will. Oops. I'm a little bit butterfingery at the moment. Should be okay though. There we go. Okay, good enough. Just the way it's supposed to be. All right. So yeah, here we go. Yeah, I bought. Well, I take it back. I didn't buy it. I traded it. I had a. What did I trade for this? Oh goodness, I just got it the other day too. I've done a lot of guitars. I did the California World Guitar Show, and I've just been guitars on my mind. So my mind's been reeling with guitars. Let's see, I traded this for. Oh, I traded my Gretsch 6125 center block Gretsch that I paid $220 for this, and this is made in USA. It's not China or Japan or Korea. It is made in USA. 2014 in TV yellow, or television yellow. So we'll go ahead and plug this puppy in and give it a test play. This will be actually my first time test playing it, because I didn't even test play it when I traded the guy, nor did he test play mine. But there's kind of honor among guitarists that if you're trading guitars, your guitar works. So that being said, we'll go ahead and try this out. You test for static everywhere, and the switches, the pot, the jack. All that good stuff, and give it a quick test play. Test player. I need a longer cord. My cord's a little bit short, but that's all right. I'm sitting a little further away because I got my computer close now. Of course, it's out a little bit out of tune. Sound pretty good, so. There you have it. She plays. Indubitably, she plays. Why wouldn't she? She's only 4 years old, so. Good news is I did sell a Gibson Les Paul flat top today. So that was fun. A guy that has been wanting it for about 5-6 days. So he came over, and literally within about 4 or 5 minutes, boom, he bought it. He was ecstatic with it. So I was going to trade for BC Rich today. Well, actually today, yesterday, the day before, the day before, the day before. But the guy really flaked out. He asked me for my address. I gave it to him. He said he was on his way. Never showed up. Never emailed. Never called back. So it was kind of a day wasted yesterday. And then I emailed him today and said, "Where are you?" And he said, "Oh, I sold it." Okay, you might want to tell somebody that when they're literally sitting and waiting for you to come over, because I was going to trade him a 1989 Dean Superstat blue-white Firecrackle for it. This is a cool BC Rich he had. Black and white Firecrackle, 87 BC Rich in J Series. Would have been cool to have. I have those. I have Firecrackle, BC Riches and Deans and other guitars, so I'm more not happy with the guy that he didn't follow through what he was do what he's going to say he was going to do. So at any rate, and then I had another guy who was going to trade an Egnator mini half stack for a Gibson Les Paul Studio Faded today. He flaked out on me. He decided he was going to keep the guitar. Ironically, it's the same guy I traded this for. This was his guitar. And then he saw my Egnator and said, "Can I come back next week with my Les Paul and we'll trade for that?" And I was like, yeah, okay. Because I have other Egnators. I have another Egnator sitting right over here. So it wouldn't have been a loss to trade it for it. But at any rate, whatever. So we'll go ahead and take the take note where the knobs are. The knobs are in the 10 position, all facing. So that's kind of strange. And they're not. None of these are coil tap, so which is kind of a shame, but whatever. Oh man, those are on there pretty good. You want to be careful with these because you don't want to break the pot, you don't want to break the knob, and you don't want to mar the satin finish up with my tool. We'll put little marks in it. So you got to be very careful. I mean, it's a 2014. It doesn't have any scratches or dings or dents in it, but it does have some what I call palm wear. You know, when you're playing a guitar without since this doesn't have a pick guard, you know, the natural polishing of your hand and body oils and sweat will make a little shiny spot right here, that's what it is, right here, from about here to about here to about here. That's the only bad spot on the guitar. Well, there's another wear spot where the guy had his strap rubbing up against the bottom, but other than that, the guitar is perfect. There's almost zero fret wear on the frets, so she's a cool piece. And these aren't rare guitars. It's 120th anniversary, but it is in TV yellow. They made less of these. When they made these, they primarily came in black, white, sunburst, and tobacco burst. And then for about every 100 they made of those, they made one of these in TV yellow. So, that being said, it's a pretty cool piece. I like it. I'm going to resell it. I'm probably going to put between 550 and 600 on it. Now some of you might say that's awful cheap for a Gibson Les Paul. Well, it's not a high-end Gibson Les Paul. It's not a custom shop. It's not a, a special or limited edition or anything like that. So that's a pretty good price for one of these. I had a guy that wanted to trade me a Gibson Les Paul Slash edition, but he's kind of elusive, and he hasn't had the time to come over. And I was going to trade him what was I going to trade him? A couple of Epiphones, 2 Epiphones, and a Dan Electro U2 for his. So 3 guitars for his 1 Gibson. It's a pretty good deal, in my estimation. So we'll take this off. I'm gonna have to loosen these a little more. You have to loosen the ones up more that are wrapped over the top of the bridge, because it has the intonation raises on it, so you can't intonate these. They're virtually impossible to intonate. They're factory intonated, just by the scale length, and so you really can't intonate one of these. There's nothing to intonate. There's no screws. There's no, there's none of that to intonate it with. You have to have an adjustment somewhere, somehow, and this one doesn't have that. So. And since this is not shiny and polished, I'm just going to, normally I unscrew these out and I polish these, but these are satin finished, as is the tail piece. So there's not going to be a whole lot to polish on this entire guitar, except for the switch bezel, rhythm and treble bezel, the pickups, the knobs, and the truss rod cover, and the tuners, and the back plate. That's going to be the only thing to polish and clean on these. So, go ahead and tighten my nuts here, like I always do with you guys. I go very slowly, because even though these are Gibson and higher quality, you can strip these out. So, I don't want to do that. A little bit at a time, because if I happen to break this, being a Gibson, a replacement on this is going to be like 30 to 50 bucks by the time you get the pot and the nut and all that jazz, and then the time to replace it and blah blah blah, etc., etc. So it's like, and we'll check the jack. The jack was good, if you guys remember. So we're just going to tighten all the nuts, bolts, screws, and washers, as I always do on these guitars. And the edges aren't rounded. They're kind of sharp, and this guitar is a little bit thinner than your standard Les Paul. These are cool. My friend Kevin says he has one of these. I told him about this guitar, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I have one of those. Exact same guitar." But he's telling me the production numbers on these aren't that special. So I'm thinking his is not the 120th anniversary edition, because I know for a fact these are a little bit rare. You know, like I said, the 100 to 1 on these, production wise, if you will. But that doesn't mean that it's worth $500 more, or $300 more, or $200 more, or anything like that. It's still just, you know, it's worth what it's worth, and that's what it's worth, and that's it. So yeah, go ahead and tighten the tuners, as I always do. Generally, you can always tighten these down about another 2 to 5 or 6 more turns. I like my tuners very snug and tight, not to the breaking point, of course, obviously, but a tighter tuner means you're going to have less tuning issues. Plain, pure, and simple. So I'm going to do this tonight and take pictures of it tomorrow and have it back up for sale by Wednesday for between $550 and $600. And that's a pretty well fair market price for these, considering this color, the TV yellow, is a little bit rare. I happen to like TV yellow. A lot of people don't like the TV yellow. They think it's kind of a dark, kind of a deli mustard color, as some people call it. It's deli mustard color. But I happen to like it. I have other guitars that are in TV yellow. You know, Gretches and Ibanez and Schecters and Rickenbackers and stuff like that. So TV yellow is not exclusive to Gibson Fenders. I also have them in Fenders. And I'll take the covers off and take some pictures. As you guys know, that's what I like to do. I gotta get a new battery for my camera, because I went to a Klasic car show this weekend, and the battery is like 10 years old. I bought that camera brand new when Nikon D90s first came out, and it's running on the original battery, so I need to get a new one before the LA County Fair starts. So I have a fresh battery for the LA County Fair. So even when I took my pre-pictures of this guitar a few minutes ago, the battery was in the red, and I just took it off the charger yesterday, so that's not a good sign. So I'll order a new battery off Amazon, and they're not too much. They're like $30, so I might even buy 2. I think you get free shipping and, you know, next day drop, ship delivery and all that good stuff. So yeah. Okay. Ooh, pretty. Okay, yeah, it's got the it's not the older style Gibson where you got a pot and a pot and a pot and a pot and then wiring to connect each one. It's on a circuit board. Some people like these, some don't. I think they're okay. You know, I like the old original style myself. That's just me. And it has the, you know, the pickups have the steel braided wiring. These don't, so it's a trade-off. Ooh, I'll take one without a flash. And I'll take one here without a flash. And my battery is in the red. Then I have to save enough battery power for the fretboard when I'm done, and then of course pictures tomorrow. So yeah, it's got no buckle rash on the back. It's pretty well, I won't say unused, but it's not used very much. Even the guy said, yeah, he said he barely played it. He bought it, and then he estimates he played it for between a month and a half and 2 months, and that wasn't every day. And I can tell, you can tell. This guitar should not take long for me to do because there's not much to do on it in terms of the polishing of it and all that stuff. So I should finish without any problems. I should finish this guitar in about an hour. So I've been putting off doing this guitar for about a week. I've had this now. Yeah, a week today is when I got it, Monday. Yeah, week ago today I traded for this. And the guy's pretty happy with his Gretsch, so it's kind of a shame he didn't want to trade his Gibson for my Egnator amplifier, but it's alright. He might change his mind at some point. So it's all good when it comes to that. A little butterfingery today for some reason. Okay, here we go. Now, take the truss rod cover off so I can polish it and adjust the truss rod. It's not far off. I measured it already once. There's two ways to adjust a truss rod. One with a straight edge across it from first fret to last fret. And the second way is buzz point. I do it to buzz point and a combination of the straight edge. Some people put a straight edge across it and then measure it with a little steel ruler, those little 6-inch ones, and they measure it to factory, and then they leave it. And then they wonder why they're having fret buzz. It's like, well, okay, factory setting is just a starting point. It's not, it's not set in granite. It's a starting point. That's all it is. Okay, so I'm just going to probably tweak it by about a 1/16 of a turn, tight, and that's it, because that's all it needs. And, yeah, PC people will use these little rulers. Put your straight edge across it, put it across the fret, and measure how many millimeters or how many lines. And then they go, ooh, it's adjusted. And then they go to put the guitar all back together, and then wonder why it's fret buzzing. Especially when they've made no other adjustments, it's like, okay, well, this is why. Okay. Yeah, duh. Never mind. A little bit different. I don't have the correct tool for it because they don't generally make one, and it's 5/16. So, and the tool on this tool isn't 5/16. So I just remember where it is. I'll put my tool with the screwdriver straight up and down, and then just give even less than a 1/16 return, 5/32. And then that's it. It's adjusted. And that's it. It's adjusted. That is my adjustment. And I'll go ahead and do the whoops. Do the nuts for the tuners. Again, very slowly with my thumb on it, so if my wrench slips, I don't go, and then it goes across the surface of the top of the headstock and makes a good little scratch, and then messes it up and rounds off the edges of the nut. Do that. And you go pretty slow, because you only have about 2.5 threads on them, and that's it. Is it. And tighten this, make sure that's tight. And it is. Everything's tight on this, so that's a good sign. But I always tighten it just a little bit more, even if it's just a little half a turn or whatever, a quarter of a turn, whatever. That's just what I do. It's just who I am. So we'll go ahead and take a picture. Let's do the battery for the fretboard. We'll get that nice 120th anniversary in. Okay. All right. Move the and look at this. It's not a new screwdriver, but it's my brother's. He let me borrow his, so I can do this job. Because my other one is pretty well toast. So. And this is like a size up from my screwdriver. This is I think this is a 18 volt. Mine's 12 volt. So it's a little bit bigger in size. So that's cool. Or maybe it won't be cool. It'll be so heavy that, you know, it'll wear on my back doing it. Yeah, it's definitely heavier. That's alright. Not fitting in the chuck. Oh, there it goes. Ooh, it's nice and powerful too. Almost hurt my hand there. Alright, so I should be able to get this fretboard pretty good. The fretboard is very dull. It's very dirty. You run your fingers across it, it drags. It's very dry. So this is going to help a lot. Slow because this is a faster drill. I'll go a little bit slower because I don't want to sling the polish all over the place. That's it. Excuse me. Sorry. Wow, that drill works awesome. I might see if Jeff will. I don't think he uses it much. Maybe I'll ask if I can buy it off of him. If not, I can just go buy another one. Yeah, I only paid what, $30 for my other one, so I think these are only about 50. So it's not like I'd be breaking the bank if I bought a new drill tomorrow. You know what? I don't take very many during pictures with the polish on it. I think I'm going to do that just kind of for fun, because this is kind of a semi-special guitar. So, a during picture, before, during, and after. That's pretty cool. Here's a fresh towel, fresh out of the washing machine yesterday or so, day before yesterday, something like that. So here we go. Oh man, yeah. You can already tell that quite a bit of gunk up in there. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do my famous in between each fret. Now these fretboards typically aren't supposed to be like ultra shiny or anything. They're kind of along the lines of the faded line of Gibsons, where the fretboards are not very shiny, they're kind of very dull. So I'm not trying to polish a shine in it so much that you can see a reflection in it, just so it's clean and your strings don't bind, and it has a real nice fast action. So our electricity went out today for literally about 2 seconds, but it was enough to trip all my computers off. And then most of them recovered fine. And then my main computer took me an hour and 20 minutes to boot. And it developed, you know, if you lose power, it developed an error. And I had to clear the error out of it, and that took an hour and 20 minutes for the boot time. And then I lost sound from my sound card, and then I had to reboot it a second time, and now it's fine. So, but I'm not streaming with that computer. I'm streaming with the HP Star Wars edition. I still have to get my other computer fixed up in here, so I got all my camera views and all that. So I'll do that for you guys definitely before winter. Since I've been so busy, it's like it's not one thing, it's 10 others. Oops. Use my space. Because my back past week has been really bad, that's why I haven't streamed much. And then I put this guitar off for an entire week. And then I put my Epiphone Les Paul SG 3 pickup on holds for like 3 weeks. I should have had that done a long time ago. But I'm gonna dedicate that guitar work to a friend of mine, and I want her to be able to see the stream, so I have to do it when she's awake, because she's 3 hours ahead of me. So I want to do it on a night where, you know, she says she'll be up and watch. I don't expect her to watch the whole thing in case it runs a couple of 2-3 hours long, which I think it will. And it might even run 2 nights because I have to replace a pickup in it. Somebody took one of the pickups out and put a modern one. So I have to take that one out and put a original one in. So, okay, I'll finish this up. Well, it came out pretty nice. It did put a little bit of a shine on it, and that's fine. It's perfectly fine. Take my after picture because I have to sit down because my back is killing me. Whew. Okay, now we have before, during, and after. Wow, the after, yeah, kidding me. Wow, big difference. Major difference. Major difference. Okay, now we'll go ahead and clean the top of the neck. And the neck is, of course, satin finish, so I'm not trying to polish a polish on it because I'm just going to go very lightly over the cross over the top of it so I can get fingerprints and dust off of it. And I'm not trying to do anything else but that. And yeah, there we go. That's it. That's all. Whew, I gotta sit down. Okay, let me check you guys in chat. Make sure you're all good. Hello? Hello, no questions. Alright, just comment. Whew, okay. Whew. Now I'll take my rag and I'll just polish the tops and sides of the pickups. Lift this one up a little more because I need to so I can get the sides of it correctly. This one's adjusted way too high anyway, and this one was way too low, so I kind of put it more at a factory setting. Of course, I broke one tip of it the other week, if you guys remember, but it's alright. Okay, and then I'll clean the bezel, polish the bezel. The little rhythm and treble bezel for the three-way switch, and I even do the tip just because I can. This guitar is pretty cool. Wow, the fretboard came out really nice. 0 fret wear. I mean, just 0. This guitar is not going to take me long to do, barring any problems, of course. Oh yeah, this came out real nice, of course. Oh yeah, nice. Well, we're already more than halfway done, and we're only 42 minutes into this. So that's pretty good timing. I'm not trying to rush or anything, but yeah, just trying to make it look nice. You know, put these pickups back down to kind of a starting point. I always hold my screwdrivers with both hands, you guys know that. Because one thing would be to go like this and go, and then go, and then scratch the pickup up and the finish up and everything up. Yeah, no, I don't like to do that. These are P90 pickups. They're kind of a favorite pickup of mine. I like the P90s. I think they're cool. I like them. They have a nice, good, mellow, deep sound to them. There's even a P90 that's a little bit wider, and it's kind of, they're called a double P90. They're kind of rare. You don't see them too often. Most people don't even know what they are. Even some guitarists and techs don't even know what they are, but they do exist. They are out there. Very careful with this one because I'm trying to not only tighten it but line up my slots. You guys know I like to do that. This one's almost there, but I don't think I'm going to be able to go any further without cracking it or breaking it. I'll try one more time for good measure. Ooh, there, I got it. Persistence with along with being very careful. Usually helps. It usually does the trick. Okay, so I'll go ahead and just polish the truss rod cover now. The back of it you don't need to polish, it's just kind of plain. It says Melody Maker on it. I'll show it to you in a second here when I'm done polishing it. And Melody Maker. So go ahead and I'll put that back. Yeah, come on. Get your fingerprints on it. Trying to get it on there. Need to use the other screwdriver. Okay, maybe I don't. The tip on this one's good. The small one here is getting real worn, so I need to turn this screwdriver in. It's got a lifetime warranty. I'll get a new one. You don't want to go too tight or you'll crack the ends of the plastic of the truss rod cover, and then you'll have it in about 4 pieces, and then you'll have to buy another one, and that one would be probably hard to get because it says Melody Maker on it. Well, I take that back. It won't be ultra hard to get it, but it won't be easy. So this is satin finish, so I'm gonna go over this just with my already impregnated rag. I'm not trying to polish this because I'm not trying to polish it because it's satin finish. And yeah, and of course it's real Gibson. It says Gibson on it, so there is that. And we'll go ahead and put this pig. Well, I can't put it back on yet because I need to just kind of go over the area here, just because there's a little bit of dust, and there's one little kind of spot right here. I want to see if I can lighten it up just by rubbing on it a little. Maybe I will, maybe I won't be able to clean it up. And I could probably clean this up with a baby wipe. And I showed you guys that with the satin finish guitar a couple months ago, I think. I took a baby wipe and it lightened up the, dirty smudges and fingerprints on it. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll get one real quick. You know what? No, I don't want to. I'm not going to do that. Change my mind. I don't think it's going to come out anyway, because well, you know what? Gosh, I guess I'll get one. Then I'll just very lightly rub across on it. I'll be right back. Okay, we have a standard Equate Walmart baby wipe, and what you do is you just kind of fold it in quarters. You pick your spot that needs it. Usually what I first do is just I go like this. Oh, the spot that I just did came up already. It's usually because if you start rubbing on it, you'll rub a polished spot in that finish. Oh yeah, see, it's disappearing. I might very lightly go over the whole guitar. Oh yeah, they're disappearing. They're gone. That's cool. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm just gonna very lightly go over the whole guitar. And you go very lightly. I mean, just barely the weight of your fingers across it, because you're just trying to get the dirt off of it, the fingerprint dirt and finger oils and stuff like that. So, oh yeah, it's already coming out better. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can see it on the rag there. Wow, that's cool. Okay. Second time real quick. And what I'll do is I'll wait for that to dry, and then I'll go over it with the microfiber. That'll get out any, because it is satin finished, and you'll put striation. You'll put swirl marks in it from the baby wipe, kind of like when you clean a window and it streaks. So yeah, it's leaving streaks, but that's okay. I can polish them out with this. Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, Again, the guitar is not perfect, so I'm not trying to get perfection out of it here. Very good. Very nice. Yeah. I'll stand up and look at it and check it. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, that's good. That's nice. That helped a lot. So. Okay, we'll go ahead. Now we can go ahead and put the there's another little spot right here. So I'll press a little bit harder there and a little bit harder there. Just a little bit, and then I'll oh yeah, there we go. Okay. Pick this puppy up. Make sure my strings are not oh Jesus. I was lucky, it didn't fall on the thing. I was just trying to show you, I don't want the strings all twisted. There we go. Ooh, went right in. That's good. Sometimes you even the best of us mess up, you know? Okay. Alright. And I'm just going to freshen these strings up. He said he changed them not too long ago. So I'm just kind of gonna give him a came off of its post, but that's alright. And I'm just using a piece of Scotch-Brite, fine grated Scotch-Brite. Just to kind of clean the strings up a little bit and put a little bit of polish on them. And you only do this on the unwound strings. You obviously don't do this on the wound strings. You can, but if it gets to that point, then you really need to just simply replace the string. Back. I gotta sit back down because my back's killing me. I didn't put enough water in my swamp cooler. I didn't have it on swing mode. So yeah. Okay, let's wind these strings back up. And we'll do the height adjustment on the strings because that's obviously no good. But there's no groove to watch for, you know, I'm always telling you what, put it and make sure it's in the saddle groove. These don't have any saddle grooves, so you just kind of, you know, make sure the wines on the top of the post, tuning peg post, aren't getting all all bird's nested up or anything. And that's all you gotta watch out for, most generally. I really need a better string winder. Last two I'm going to do a little bit slower because I don't know if these ones are going to break. The condition of them. They're new, but he said they're new, but they're old. They've been on there a couple of years, so it's like, okay, I want to break them. What I do? Oh, I got to wind this one back on the damn thing bobber. Using my needle nose because my fingers on my back are hurting. Okay. Ooh. My back just seems to be getting worse and worse every year. It's not from lack of exercise or anything like that. It's just from getting older and back getting worse. Really just kind of that simple. Yeah, come on now. Grab it real good. Come on. There we go. Okay. Not having trouble because I can't do it. I'm having trouble because of my damn back. It sucks having a bad back, people. I'm going to do the standing up because my back is killed. That's it. Oh. Oh. I'm sorry guys, but I just have a bad back. That's all there is to it. Okay, now I will do the knobs. I have to put a little more polish on the knobs. Usually my rag is wet enough by the end of a job that I don't have to put extra on there, but today I did, so that's alright. I always do this to the knobs, whether they're plastic or metal ones, just to kind of freshen them up and take any micro scratches off of them and whatnot. So yeah, I really wanted to do this guitar a couple weeks ago, but I just had so many issues come up, and then I had QuakeCon come up, which is a video gaming convention I went to, and then I got this convention and that convention and this event and that event, and then it's like, oh goodness. So okay, I guess I'll do it that way too. Normally I put the number 10 straight up and down, but this one had them canted a little bit, about 45-degree angle or so. Very rarely do I put them at an angle, but I don't know, for some reason I want to do this one at an angle, so that's what I'm going to do. It's been pretty hot here. It's been triple digits. This past week, it's about past week, 8 days, maybe 9 days. It's been in the 90s, mid to upper 90s, still hot. Today was only 92. I think 92, 94. 92 or 94. 92, I think, anyway. Yeah, that looks good. I like that. Okay. Oh, I like this commercial, the Dawn commercial with the little ducks and other animals. Used to have an otter in it. Otter was my favorite, but they took the otter out, and then they brought the otter back, and then they took the otter out again. Now it's just ducks. Ducks are cool, but I like the otter. The otter was cool. What can I say? I like the otter pop. I like these kind of Gibson knobs. They're a little bit higher, and they have the notches in them, little grip notches. Yeah, they're cool. I like them. These used to come in transparent sparkle colors, but you can't really get them anymore. I think you can get counterfeit copy ones, but you can't get original Gibson ones anymore. I think they stopped making them, which is a shame. I should have bought like a pallet of them when I had the chance, I guess, but okay. Okay, all the knobs are done. And unfortunately I have to adjust the height on that. So I was kind of hoping I wasn't going to have to, but Allen set screw in there. I think it's loose, but I'll not the right freaking size, dagnabbit. Okay. Too big. might be standard, not metric. Well, yeah, I think it's going to be standard, not metric. You never know. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. It's one of those things. Yeah. Okay, 1/8. Should know this. This should be 1/8. Yep, it's 1/8. Might have to take some of the string tension off of it now. It's not in tune or anything, but yeah, come on. Goodness. All right. There we go. That should do it. We'll get it more in a tune here in a sec. And, well, I'll wait for the setup until I'm done. I need to flip it over and polish the covers, the tuners, and clean the back with the baby wipe. With the little baby wipe. Lighten up some of the marks. Sideways, do the side. Oh, I'll use the other rack because that one's starting to get a little schmutzy. Where's my... Oh, I was like, where's my rag? It's on the floor. Do the jack, plate, polish it. Oh, nice. Came out good. I'll just do the back of the tuners and the sides of them, and the tops. Careful not to get any polish on the satin finish. otherwise, when you go to wipe it off, you will have a semi-polished glossy spot. And you don't want that. Tuners can be a little hard to tune because they're, you know, they have that shape to them on the bezel, the mounting bezel for them, and they have the ridges on the top and all that. So these can be a little hard to polish, but I've polished so many of them over the years, I know exactly how to get in there and do it. Okay. So that's pretty much the extent of polishing this. I mean, like I said before, not much. You know, just a few things on it, and that's it. Whew. I'm hot. I'm hot. Whew. Okay, I'll probably wash my hands real quick, and then we'll start in on the setup on this. And that shouldn't take long at all. I mean, I should have it done in like 5 minutes, barring any problems. So I will be right back. Sorry about the fan noise, guys. I had to turn my other fan on because I did. Now that it's a little bit cooler outside than it is inside, I can bring some of the cooler in. Okay, anyway. Go ahead and plug this puppy in. I need to take the polish off of the jack plate. Just remembered that. Oh yeah, man, the guy took pretty good care of this. You know, barring the little bit of rub from his strap on there. Had he gotten strap locks for this, you know, the swivel kind of strap locks, that wear probably wouldn't be there. But It's all right. What can you do? What can you do? Oh, plug this puppy in. Away we go. Ooh. Anyway. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, I forgot to cut the tips off. Now that's going to change the tune of it, so now I got to go back. And the guitar is done. Perfectly tuned, perfectly intonated. Can't get it any better than that. Playing pure and simple. It's now a $600 guitar. So I'm gonna make a pretty good profit on this. Pretty decent. Not gonna make a killing, but I'm gonna make a decent little profit. I'll tighten these back up. Those are just the set screws that keep the bridge screws from tightening or loosening. Oh man, my backside hurts so much. Oh man. But there you have it. It's all done. Can't get any better. Of course, I got my fingerprints on the freshly polished thing. There it is. It's all done. She's beaut. Get another drink to celebrate, another soda. I'll be right back. I'll give the drill back to my brother. He let me borrow this. And I'm going to see if I can buy it from him because he doesn't use it at all. He got it about 3 months ago. Maybe 4. He won it. And he got accumulated enough credit card points or something like that, I forget. And they said, here you go, here's a drill. So I'm going to see if he'll give it to me or if I can buy it from him. Yeah. Okay. Whoops. Almost knocked my computer over. I want to do that. I plan on using it. Don't want to do that. Oh. Okay, celebration. Now that did not take too long to do this one. The satin finish guitars always take less time, and they have satin finished hardware and satin this and satin that. Oop, I forgot to wipe down the tuner pegs. I'll sit here and do that for a bit. Turn up my TV show so I can hear it. I can't show you the TV show because that would be copyright, but yeah, anyway. So, yeah, it should make about $150–200 on this guitar. Well, somebody asked me this in the chat last week on my last stream, but I didn't see it in time before I shut the stream down. Closed out the video, but somebody asked me, you know, because I always put new strings on unless the strings on it are already new. Generally I put 9s on all guitars. Occasionally I'll put 10s, like if it's a really big full-size hollow body or something, I'll put 10s on it. But generally I put 9s. Ernie Ball, Slinkies, regular Slinkies, 9s. But on occasion, somebody who wants to buy a guitar says, well, can you put 10s on it? And I go, well, these strings are brand new. But I don't quibble with people about it. What I'll do is I take the strings off, and I just wrap them up and keep them. I'm not going to throw them away because they're brand new. And I'll use them on another project. And then I'll go ahead and put their 10s on it. Generally, the setup will be the same. I won't have to do any tinkering with the intonation. Very little or none at all. String height, very little or none at all. And, ooh, pickup height. I gotta put the pickup height back on it. I forgot to do that. So I'm not done yet. But generally speaking, people are pretty happy with the strings on it. I did tell you guys about that guy who bought that Gretsch from me. That's $800 Gretsch, and he wanted 11s on it, and it had 10s. And I was like, okay, I can do that for you. So he came back and he paid for the guitar, and then went and had lunch. And an hour later, he came back and picked up the guitar. And so again, I take the strings off, and then I loop them around, loop them up, and just save them for the next project. And generally, that way I don't have to throw away a brand new set of strings. So that usually works out well. And I'll set the height on this back up. So that's where I like them. Generally, again, I adjust the pickup height just below where it's touching. I fret the last fret, make sure nothing's, and strum it, make sure nothing's hitting. And usually just under that is my pickup height, because I like a nice strong pickup tone. And again, if somebody buys this guitar and they want me to set them down, well, I'll set them down or somewhere in the middle or wherever they want. But generally speaking, that's where I put them. And if I don't put them there, I will put them oop, that was rubbing. Rubbing a little. There we go. Very, very seldomly is somebody going to fret this low E string at the highest fret, but nonetheless, I will set the string there. And then some people like their pickups at a factory setting, but I will adjust wherever somebody wants, and I won't have any issues doing that, that's for sure. People want what they want, and that's what they want, and that's it, and you know, away we go, you know. Do a little dusting here, because I have to fix this light because it doesn't work. I bought it at Harbor Freight, and it stopped working. This is my shopping list for Harbor Freight next time I go. Probably be maybe this week. Always getting a little something at Harbor Freight. This is the pickup I'm going to put in that guitar that I'm going to dedicate to a friend of mine, lady friend of mine. This is, I need to change the bezel out and the cover out to a gold tone one. It's a 1999 Gibson Les Paul SG, and it is #1 off the assembly line for the entire year of 1999. You look at the serial number and it says 000001. So I'm going to dedicate that guitar service to my friend. Her name is Truthfully Trisha here on YouTube. She's pretty well known, fairly well known, and I'm going to dedicate that guitar to her. Maybe, oh, I don't know what night. Things have kind of been crazy for her and me, schedule-wise, so maybe Wednesday night, maybe Friday night. I'll have to confer with her and see when she can, you know, come and watch for, you know, a half hour or 45 minutes or however long she wants to watch. I think the work is might be a two-nighter, because I have to switch out the pickups, and you know, if I run into any issues or problems, it'll be a two-nighter. If not, it'll probably be a full 3-hour stream, and I don't expect her to sit and watch me for an entire 3 hours, unless she wants to. But I'm going to dedicate that guitar to Truthfully Trisha here on YouTube. Very good lady friend of mine. Very good. So we basically did this guitar in about an hour and 30 minutes. It feels like I've been sitting here for 3 hours, actually. But, yeah. But it turned out pretty nice. Make sure it's still in tune here. It is. And I'll take a full spread of pictures of it tomorrow. And Wednesday it goes on Craigslist for $600. And I think that's a pretty good fair market price for one of these. You know, if somebody offers me 5 or 4 or 3, I'm definitely not going to take that for it. I mean, after all, it is a made in the USA Gibson Les Paul. So, yeah, pretty cool. I like it. I'm pretty happy with it. It's kind of a shame that the guy didn't want to trade me his Gibson Les Paul Studio Faded for my Egnator amp today, but that's alright. He kind of changed his mind at literally the last minute, and that's fine. Some people do that. It's not like I'm not gonna cry over it. I would have liked to have had his guitar, but I've got a lot of Gibsons. I think I have 9 Gibsons in total for sale. Not all Les Pauls. One's a Flying V. I have two SGs, two SG Fadeds, an SG 125th anniversary, and others. So, and those are just the ones that I have just for sale. I have a lot more than that. So I'm not in no short supply of Gibsons, that's for sure. Oh, there's the otter on the Dawn commercial. I love that otter. He's so cute. He's my favorite. It's weird. Sometimes when they show this commercial, they have the otter in it, and other times they don't. I mean, it's only like maybe between 2 and 2.5 seconds they show him. Oh boy, I guess that 2 or 2.5 seconds is expensive in commercial purchase time, I guess. So, oops, sorry, I had to move the microphone there. So, yeah, we'll flip this over and show you. The frets and fretboard came out really nice. Again, this is a Gibson Les Paul Melody Maker 120th Anniversary Edition in TV yellow. Semi-rare. I would probably more call it uncommon than rare. And when you do see these, they're typically in black, white, sunburst, or tobacco burst. Not too many are in the TV yellow. So here's the back of it. Just your standard covers. And your standard Gibson tuners. And standard jack. Everything else is pretty well standard on this. This is not a custom shop or anything by any stretch of the imagination. I wish it were, but it isn't. I don't think they made these in a custom shop, the Melody Maker. I'm pretty sure. Not 100% sure, but pretty sure. If this were a custom shop, this would be worth $1,500, $1,800, $1,600 minimum. Just found a little spot I can try and lighten up here. Yeah, see, this is where the guy's strap rubbed and rubbed and rubbed and rubbed, and it just barely rubbed the layer of paint off of it. It didn't do any damage to the wood or anything. It's a shame. It happens. Like I said, had he gotten strap locks, swivel strap locks, that wouldn't have happened. But, yeah. What do you want? Guitars are for playing, not just for looking at. Yeah, take these tags away from a couple of guitars I sold over the week. I sold a Dean MLX Explorer for $130 and an Epiphone ES339 for $400. I put tags on all the guitars that I sell so I know what they are and how much they are. Not that I don't know what they are, but I don't commit most of the prices to memory because I have so many for sale. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of guitars, so I can't commit the price to memory on all of them. So I take these tags and I take the paper out of it and flip it over, cross the old one out, and write the new one, so I can reuse the tag. So yeah, that's it. That's the back of it. We'll flip it back over to the front, and I will take a full spread of pictures of this tomorrow, and have it up on my website and Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace on Wednesday. I'll take the pictures tomorrow, but I'll have it up on Wednesday. So yeah. I need to take everything off of this front part of this table, my workbench table here, and dust and clean everything. Getting a little dusty. I'll probably actually close this video out here. I'll sit here for another 25 minutes and chat with you guys until midnight, and close this video out. And next will either be Wednesday or Friday. Excuse me. When I do this 1999 Epiphone Les Paul SG 3 pickup. I'm going to dedicate the stream and the guitar service to my friend, truthfully, Tricia. Okay. 120th anniversary. I forgot to put that in my description. I'm usually real good at doing that, but I forgot this time, huh? Yellow. Yeah, why not? TV yellow. Oops. www.gibson.com. Give Gibson a little shout out there. Gibson needs all the attention they can get because they filed for bankruptcy this year. Chapter 11, restructuring. Yeah, restructuring bankruptcy. So, pretty cool guitar. I like this. Yeah. Make a decent profit off of it. I won't make a killing, but I'll make a profit on it. Turn off my swamp cooler because it's not doing anything anymore. Yeah. Oh, and I do have a... I'm not going to include this case with the guitar. Normally I do not include cases or gig bags with my guitar, but this is the case that Gibson Les Paul I sold today. It's a gig bag, not a case. But tomorrow I'll put this one in here when I'm done. And generally why I don't include cases or gig bags is just because typically people want their own style or condition of gig bag or case, or maybe they want a gig bag instead of a case, or a case instead of a gig bag. So yeah. Years ago, when I offered cases or gig bags with the purchase of a guitar, more times than not, people didn't like the case or the gig bag that I was including. So it was kind of a waste of money to have them buy a case or a gig bag that they didn't want along with the guitar, because that is an added cost, anywhere from $20 up to $200. So to keep the price of my guitars down a little bit, I don't include a case unless it's a custom shape guitar, kind of a semi one-off or one-off, and it happens to come with a case that's cut out for that guitar. Then I will just include the case. But that doesn't happen too often unless it's like a Mineric guitar, or something like that. So this turned out pretty nice. I'm happy with it. It is a shame that the guy didn't want to trade. The guy I traded this guitar for was interested in an amplifier that I had, an Egnator Tweaker 15 mini half stack. He wanted to trade me a Gibson Les Paul Studio Faded for it today, and then literally at the last minute he changed his mind, which was fine. He was all, yeah, I'll be there at 2 p.m. and at 1 p.m. he's all like, I changed my mind. That's fine. He might change his mind back. Who knows? If he does, then I'll be more than happy to accommodate him. But I kind of pretty much told him I didn't necessarily want to trade, because I already have like 4 of those Gibson Studio Les Paul Fadeds. So it's not like I need another one. But I did tell him if he happened to come up with a BC Rich Made in USA or NJ series, like a Warlock or a Mockingbird or an Ironbird, then I would trade him for that. I do have a guy bringing me a Gibson. No, excuse me. I have a guy bringing me Saturday a BC Rich NJ Series Mockingbird in black with cloud inlays for $260, which is a screaming deal. And he emailed me pictures of it. It's in pretty well perfect condition. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 9.5. And it is an NJ. It's not a bronze series or a platinum series or anything. And with a case, a hardshell case, for $260, and he's going to bring it to me. So that's a pretty good screaming deal. So I have that coming Saturday. What else do I have coming? I think that's it. About 3 people flaked out on me this week for trades or sales of stuff that people were bringing me to either trade for or buy, for me to buy. That BC Rich, that 87 BC Rich Firecrackle was one. The other guy that had the Gibson Faded, and there was a guy that had a Ibanez Artcore AF 85 full-size hollow body. He was going to bring to me for $250, no case, but in really good condition, like a 9.5 out of 10. He flaked out on me, but such as it is. So I'll sit here for another 15 minutes and talk to you guys. Again, this guitar is a 2014 Gibson Les Paul Melody Maker 120th anniversary in TV yellow with P90s, 2-volume, 2-tone, and in satin finish, and it's pretty cool. I should be able to get about $550 to $600 for it. I traded a Gretsch G5120 for it that I had, that I paid $220 for. So I'll make, I'll make a good profit. Probably closer to $350 on this. I'll make a good profit on it. Not bad. And that was a good guitar. It was made in Korea, Gretsch. So it was no cheapie. It was probably worth. It had a fair market value of about $450. So even though I paid $220 for it, it was still worth $450. So, and these did not come with a pick guard on them. Sometimes when you buy higher-end Gibsons, they include a pick guard with mounting hardware, but they do not install it because, some people don't want a pick guard on it, and some people do. If you do, you just, you drill a couple of pilot holes here and here, and then you can mount your pick guard on it. You always want to drill what's called a pilot hole, which is usually a couple of sizes down smaller than the screw. Because if you just try and put the screw in with no hole in it, and you crank down on it, you're going to splinter and crack the wood. So you have to put what's called a pilot hole in it, which again is usually a size down by 1 or 1.5 or 2 smaller than the screw. So that way you have something to bite into. So I'll get a fresh drink, fresh soda, and I'll be right back. Whoops. Almost tripped. So I'll show you the guitar that I'm working on Wednesday or Friday. And I'm going to dedicate this guitar and that stream to Truthfully Trisha here on YouTube. This is a 1999 Epiphone Les Paul Custom SG. Pretty rare. It's in ivory white with 3 pickups. This pickup is not the original one. Somebody took the original one out. That's why I have this one. And then I have the correct bezel and correct cover for it. And I will change those out and dedicate this guitar to my friend Truthfully Trisha. Reason I'm dedicating it to her, well, I won't tell you why I'm dedicating this guitar to her. I'll tell you on the night of the stream. But pretty rare guitar. So I will dedicate that guitar to my friend, my dear friend, lady friend. She's just a good friend. So yeah, I'll close this video out here in about 9 minutes. And that'll be it for this lovely 2014 Gibson Les Paul Melody Maker 120th anniversary in TV yellow. The frets and fretboard came out really good. They were really dull. Typically the fretboards on these are like the faded models, where the fretboard is, the wood on the fretboard is not shiny. It's really dull and really flat. But in order to clean it, you have to clean it. So now the neck is really nice and fast, and the strings are good. The strings are new. I didn't have any issues with the pots or the jack or the pickups or the switch or the tuners or anything. So I mean, I got this guitar done in really quick time. So that was good. And again, the guy had a I don't know what year it is, but it was a Gibson Les Paul Studio faded in the brown faded. He wanted to trade me for an Egnator Tweaker 15 half stack that I have, but he changed his mind at the last minute today, which is fine. But yeah, maybe he'll change his mind back. I don't know. Again, it's not like I needed another Gibson faded. I've got like 4 of those, so. But I like them. I wish I had 20 of them. I sell them left and right. They don't stay on my shelf, my virtual shelf, if you will, for very long. I usually sell those within. Heck, I've sold those within 2 hours of posting them online. And then again, I've taken as long as 7 months to sell one. So it just depends. But I like them. They're pretty cool. TV yellow, television yellow, TV yellow. The reason they call these TV yellow, I'm pretty sure, is because the very early TVs, very early like color TVs, were kind of, the tint on them, coloring on them was kind of yellow. So hence the name TV yellow. It's also kind of a deli mustard yellow, not regular mustard, but deli mustard yellow. I also acquaint it with that color. I actually like the color. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of people that do, unless they're really into vintage guitars, because that is a vintage color. And other manufacturers used that color, like Fender, Gretsch, Rickenbacker, and many others. So it's cool guitar, cool color. I like it. I enjoy this color. You can't beat it with the P90s in it and the 4 control knobs. Really can't beat it. Only thing I would have done differently is I would have put the intonatable bridge in it, with the adjustable height. The ones that have the little thumb wheels on it, not these. That's what I would have done. That's the only thing I would have done differently with these. And I could put one of those on there, but you know, I don't find it necessary. It's not like it's a $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 Gibson, so you know, and the intonation is perfect on this. So you know, they do a pretty good job of, you know, placing the bridge in the correct position to where you're going to have perfect intonation, and it has its little graduations in it for the intonation. So you know, it has low, and then a little bit higher, and then a little bit higher, and then low, and then a little bit higher, and a little bit higher. That's how you do the intonation on it. So it looks kind of like this, and then 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 this. That's how the intonation on all guitars go. So it works out pretty good. So yeah. Also, I'm broadcasting on the new Telestream Wirecast is one of my sponsors, and I am broadcasting the stream and all my videos with Telestream Wirecast Pro version 10. So you get superior quality with that, and they're one of my wonderful sponsors, and they give me this software free every year for being their sponsor. So, you know, a wholehearted thank you to Telestream Wirecast. So I'm going to close this video out in about 3 more minutes, and then we'll see you on Wednesday or Friday for the 1999 Epiphone Les Paul Custom SG that is #1 off the assembly line of all Epiphone guitars in the year 1999. And I'm dedicating that to my good friend, Truthfully Trisha, here on YouTube. Yeah.
I know this was hardest on the 4 of you, but if you haven't stopped at this planet, all the people who died here would have been forgotten. And if they could, I know they thank you. Janeway to Voyager. Stand by to initiate power transfer.
So we'll close this video out. Pretty much, I think, right about now. Alright everyone, thank you for joining me on this classic guitar video in this 2014 Gibson Les Paul Melody Maker 120th Anniversary Edition in TV yellow with the P90 pickups. And join me next time for a very special stream dedicated to a very special friend of mine, Truthfully Trisha. And see you next time. Thank you very much wholeheartedly. Good night.